Alrighty, guys. It is me just coming in to give a update on what I've been dealing with and what's going on with me lately. I don't know how long it's been since I've made a video or I've given any type of information about what I'm going through. But I'm still dealing with the same situation. Still going through the chase, the stalking, the drugging, the rape, and it's still very just shocking and astonishing to be in a city where you feel like you're in the Wild Wild West, like you don't have any law enforcement or anyone that's going to uphold the law, and you as a female, you're just being hunted like a gazelle, all day long, all day long. Like I parked over at a parking lot earlier today, and just hung out, just sat there, and I was going to take a nap, and I noticed there's about 10 cars in concert, setting up their post and surrounding my vehicle and trying to assess whether or not I'm asleep or what I'm doing. And there was the lookout, there was several cars driving by my car, and then they brung over the van, this creepy old van. It looks like they used it in a war somewhere, with no windows, and backed it up behind a tree near my car. And this is how they've been doing things. They'll post up several cars, in my vicinity. They'll have people that are going to be a lookout to see if there's going to be anybody coming through the vicinity where we are. And then they'll have someone come break in my car and drug me, sedate me while they're in my car, and just simply take me out of my car, put me in this van that has no windows, and proceed to rape me, and proceed to allow other men to rape me. And then they would take me, because the drug they're using, it only lasts for a certain amount of time. I'm not sure if they're switching it up or not, but I know they started out using Special K to sedate me, and depending on what kind of form you use it in, that determines the effects and how long you're going to be sedated. And it's kind of a disassociating drug. And so they've been using that for some time. I'm not sure if they're using anything different at this point, but they're always they're doing it intravenously. They typically do it in my vein, and so that just sparks all kinds of concerns. But I won't even get into that because that's just another can of worms. But what I've come to realize is, not that this is something new, but I've always known that the police are involved. But what this is, for those who don't believe what I'm saying because it sounds too fantastical, is it's a sex ring. It's sex trafficking, and it's new age, because we are living in a new age where we are basically living in an unconstitutional, lawless Wild Wild West. Not that African Americans have ever lived in a law-abiding environment, let alone women. No matter what race you are, you've always been game in the wild when it comes to these men who these animals, that mask as men. But and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about every man, but if you're a man out there and you're being offended by that, put on your panties and turn off my channel. Because you as a man, you know better than I do what you guys' minds are like, and how majority of you have no self-control. So, again, if you're offended by what you're hearing, you have the right and the free will to not listen to my channel. And if you're getting an attitude about that, I prefer if you didn't listen to my channel, because you're one of them. But back to what I was saying. police, they're involved in this, and they're getting they're getting money, they're being paid, and that's why they're so, so adamant about, we're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, how you used to always see, like, police officers, around making sure that there's no crime, there's no incidents going on. And I find it very strange that that's not ever going on. That's not ever happening, which I just think is super bizarre. But it all makes sense. If you're listening to this channel and you listen to my other channels, the reality is that this is happening to me the same way it would be happening to a young woman who decided she was going to run away from home and go out and live on the streets and sell her body for money and for drugs. And she gets a hold of a pimp. The only thing is that they see me as a desirable, attractive woman, and knew that I didn't have any association with drugs, any association with people who did drugs, any association with people who were prostitutes, any association with people who lived any type of a unsavory lifestyle. But because they desired me, they decided they were going to just take me. Like what the white man has been doing since the founding of this disgusting state that we are living in, called North America. So I guess I'm just saying this because I just kind of really want to let everyone know out there, the women mostly of this world, that especially if you're African American, if you're a nice looking, attractive African American woman who is outspoken when you need to be, when you are an individual, you're not you're preserving yourself sexually to be a respectful individual, the way that you were supposed to be in the sight of God. Beware. Know that they're watching you. Know that they're numbering your days. Know that they know your routine. Know that they probably have been in your home or in your vicinity, your dorm room, your apartment, your house. They've been in your car. They know everything they need. They're gathering intel to make you the next victim. So don't get it twisted at all, like this is just something that goes on for some certain people or whatever, because that's what I thought. But the reality is that, again, this is a sex trafficking ring. So this is all about the almighty dollar. And it's also about the sick perversion of these disgusting, depraved maggots called white men. One of the most demonic creations of man, the Caucasian. But for the most part, this is about money. And that's why you have nobody reaching out to help you. You don't have your family. You don't have, your so-called friends. You don't have law enforcement. Because for the most part, they're probably getting money and being paid to let them know where your location is, to let them know what you're doing, how you're doing, to let them know any little detail they could probably give that's going to benefit them and help them have better and easier access to you. So just keep that in mind the next time you get out and go into your car, 7 o'clock in the evening, thinking that you're just going to run down the street to the store, grab you a drink at the Quick Trip. Remember, be mindful of your locations. Be mindful of what cars you're always seeing. Be mindful of what disgusting white man is walking up to you, telling you that you're attractive, telling you how pretty you are, thinking that he's just giving you an innocent compliment, when all he's doing is sizing you up and telling you that he basically wants to rape you. So Keep that in mind. And I know that may be a very dark way to look at life, and everybody wants to talk about, oh, look on the bright side, and you got to think positive thoughts. All this dumb crap about frequencies, and reality is reality, and there is no amount of frequency that's going to change these demonic, evil individuals and their behavior. That's why we're in the state we're in right now. Because if you think about it, the Messiah had probably the highest frequency known to man. And these demons still did what to him? Okay, I rest my case. So as I said, don't give in to the dumb, just mind-numbing gospel that's on this YouTube of these people who don't have any idea what they're talking about. Some of them do, but for the most part, most of them don't. You have to be vigilant, and just use common sense. And what I'm telling you is the gospel. You are living in a safari. And that's real talk. So just remember that. Keep that in your mind. Be mindful of your surroundings. Be mindful of the things that are going on in this world as far as the activities and new, current events. And stay awake mentally.